Editor, Editor, you're on high alert for this video right here. I didn't expect to put a video out today, but much love to you for this one. You will get shot, potentially, in Minecraft. Don't worry, chat, he'll be okay. Brought to you by some Girl Scout cookies, by the way. Go get your Girl Scout cookies today in the link book. Imagine I had a link for Girl Scout cookies. Settle down. But I do have another link. Rested XP. I appreciate you guys who support the channel and support the boy. And if you wish to use a guide for, Cataclysm or Sod or any other versions of WoW, use the link below, Teloret, down in the description, why don't you? Or you will get shot in Minecraft. Settle down. Much love to you. But let's continue with the video. I'm feeling a little parched before we continue. If you have a bottle of water, by Poland Spring. Oh yes, the microplastics of New Jersey since 1845. Even though this wasn't made in New Jersey. What are we talking about? I have no idea. Back up. You will get knocked out. Back it up right now. I said what I said, sir. However, in today's video, oh my gosh, my ears just popped. What's going on? Am I getting set up? Settle down. In today's video, we will be discussing. Did I say disgusting or discussing? What's on the prompt right there, sir? I'll kill you. In Minecraft, of course. But we will be discussing Mop Panda Remix, the Panda Edition. My nose is itchy. Unbelievable. The pros, the cons, and all the above, and basically where this will be going within the War Within in the future. I'm really having a good time, I will say, in general, with Mop Remix, and let's, start the video out like that, and we'll go from there. But as you see here, your boy is currently, he was farming the other day on our Twitch stream, which was great. I had a good time over there. It was a blast. We were farming the Emperor Shahal rep to get the Heavenly God Serpent, and we basically got exalted, which was a good time. But besides that, we're having a blast with Mop Remix currently. I will say, as a first person who never really been involved in like a lot of versions of retail as myself, I think I played a little bit of Shadowlands when I was doing stuff like the Torghast and doing stuff around like the jailer area. I didn't really like it that much. I wasn't really enjoying my time, but I will say I am enjoying my time with Mop Remix from a fresh character experience, and I guess you could call me a retail noob, so to say. I'm getting involved with it, and I must say I'm having an enjoyable time. I really like the fact that first I'm playing a paladin, right? That's my class I play in general, so I'm learning a lot of new things that I've never seen before, even with like the original paladins of back in the day from very older expansions, such as obviously classic. But in general, I will say it's been a really good time. I've been enjoying myself, not taking it too serious, just hopping in there and playing, and it's a very honestly, I must say, I was really impressed with the experience that Blizzard provided for Mop. I think it's really user-friendly, player-friendly. You just go in there, have a good time, and enjoy yourself, and know the fact that this character is going to be able to transfer to the War Within after you hit the level cap, and then, you basically have a character ready to go, And I think it's really cool for a first person that has never first time experience, who's never played any versions of like serious retail, like I am basically doing with Mop Remix, that has like a lot of these like retailish mechanics. I really like it. I really think it's an enjoyable time, and I'm really having fun. So I couldn't recommend it anymore, just to say that. All right, so let's stop sucking off the pandas and let's talk about the game itself. All right, now, what you can do in Mop Remix. I mean, you get involved with these characters, you have access to new mounts, there's transmogs, new companions, like new pets you can go after. In general, for some people, none of this stuff is new because you played the original Pandaria, but for players coming to the game for the first time, a lot of this stuff is new to them. So they have a lot of access to things for even returning players, achievements you can unlock. There's a lot of things to do, which I really like about Mop Remix. And even like if you're playing a new class with like, new abilities, that's a new way of approaching the game for yourself too, like trying out new characters and stuff. So I really like that, Mop Remix is really friendly with a lot of the things you can really do within the game. Especially, for a person who's never played, the original Mists of Pandaria, I'm getting to explore all these new zones and going through the campaigns and the new dungeons for me, and like raids, especially doing like the heroics, and then you have mythics as well. I think a lot of the stuff is genuinely enjoyable. I must say my first impression with just Pandaria as a whole has been a very wholesome experience, and it's been nothing but like really nice people too. Everyone just having a good time, going out there collecting stuff, and I see a lot of people flying around the world and just having a blast blast. And I think this is like one of the best parts of WoW that I've had for me in a while, since like Season of Discovery in general. And also another really good thing that I like about MoP is that the experience, like I thought this was going to be a slow burner, so I was expecting like another like, okay, we're going to have like a slow grind experience. No, that's not the case. It's a very fast leveling experience with access to like, end game activities such as heroic and mythics right away once you get there and, level up your item level. So it's very fast experience. It's very ult friendly due to the Cloak of Infinite Potential. So you can, level up your character a crap ton and then make an ult and just blast through like a lot of the different, early game activities, which they allow you to skip a lot of those scenarios, and you can just feel really powerful really fast. And the way that the world is like designed for like alts is that these characters are really strong, especially with the cloak if you have a primary character with stats that transfer over, and I think it's like by a percentage they're transferred over, but your character feels really strong early on within dungeons. So people are using this to like level up with low level characters because they do a hell of ton of damage within these dungeons. So low level alts are actually really viable to bring a part of your runs. So it's really cool to see how they designed this in a way where everything is like flex scaling in a way. So I think that's pretty interesting and intriguing. But in general, the game is a very easy grind. Yes, it's alt friendly. The Cloak of Potential is really cool for just the MoP remix, right, in general. And for the most part, it's just a very casual experience. It's nothing too serious. You just hop in there, you play, you have a good time. Many of things to do in Pandaria, which I really like, experiencing thus far. Now, those are mainly just the pros of what I've had from a first timer within MoP. And I must say, overall, solid, right? But everything has its cons as well. And, this is me just being, genuinely honest about it. And I wouldn't even say that these cons are anything super bad, where it's like, oh, these things need to be looked at. Maybe one thing, but not many of them. And for the most part, it's not serious, right? And we can even flip those to like pros in a way too. So let's discuss it and go from there. So, what are the cons that I've seen thus far within Mr. Pandaria Remix? In the beginning, when I was in Timeless Isle, I noticed a lot of people were doing these frog farms, and thus the name frogging became a thing. And now I am seeing that frogging is a meme amongst a lot of these forum posts, Reddit posts, Discords in general. And yeah, everybody wants frogs now because they blasted through the game so fast that the power scaling now within like the first 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, are so high that most people might never ever catch up. Now, if you might catch up eventually if there's a cap to these cloaks, but according to Blizzard, there really isn't no cap. I saw a Reddit post that said that the stamina cap was 200,000, but according to Blizzard, there is no cap. So it's really going to be hard to catch up with a lot of early people in the game who frogged the shit out of these frogs and got a lot of these lesser fortune coins to hand into vendors for caches and treasure chests and like the bronze caches pretty much. And they got like a fuck ton of infinite threads, so their threads were power leveling their cloak hella fast. So it's gonna be really hard to catch up with these frogs. And a lot of these farms have been nerfed in general, like the frog farm initially at the Timeless Isle, the goat farms. I'm not sure if the bug farm was touched all the way to the left of the side of the map of Pandaria, but it wasn't that good from when I tested it. Now there is another farm I will mention. I won't give the exact location, but I will say this. If you go to the Isle of Thunder and you're around certain areas, you will find a farm. And I'll leave it at that because I don't want to ruin the experience for other people. But I will say Isle of Thunder has an area where people are currently doing things right now because first things first, your boy is doing it himself. So much love to you. I'm taking advantage of what I have to. So it is what it is. But besides that, yes, you can say Blizzard maybe doesn't really need to nerf these things because it's just a seasonal realm, so who gives a fuck anyways? And I've even seen some people, even in general chat, saying it's not really a big deal if people are frogging or not because MoP remixes, that's not what it's all about. It's really about just collecting and getting all the transmogs and all the, achievements and stuff that you never had the opportunity to get before. So, honestly, in reality, I don't think it's a massive ordeal. It's just a fucking seasonal realm that's going to go away in 80 days, and we're all going to get, scaled up to the war within anyway. So I'm not really tripping out about this part. I'm more interested in getting the all the mounts and transmogs myself. So I really don't care about the Frog Nation part and how people feel about it. Yes, it does blow that people are really high in power level. I'm trying to catch up even myself. I never was a part of the original Frog Farm, but I'm getting there, and we'll take it, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time type thing, and go from there. Also, some rep grinds, as you see right here, for example, the Emperor Shahao rep is slower than most other grinds, for any other grind in particular, from what I at least been seeing in comparison to the Timeless Isle, when Remix is intended to be really fast paced. So it's kind of confusing me because, like, I don't understand what Blizzard's doing. They want the game to be very fast paced, and a lot of the rep grinds for Exalted are extremely fast paced. You can get Exalted relatively in a day with most reps if you really just go for it. Or you decide to do the Emperor Shahao rep and go for the 100,000 coins to get the Golden Serpent, and you have to kill these mobs over and over and over again, which I've seen older videos from back in the day, people killing a lot of similar mobs to this to do this really annoying rep grind, and this rep grind never changed. It's still the same. So even in Remix or original mob, this rep grind, besides like the 20 rep, when you do the 5 to 10 rep, or the rare rep to like the right side of the map across the bridge when you're going near the actual like ads before you cross the bridge, there is like that rep grind over there, and these are the rep grind for the higher reps, for like 20 to 25 a pop. But regardless, it's still a lengthy grind, so I don't understand why didn't like it just doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, why have like a fast-paced thing for a lot of shit, and then there's just one particular thing that's just like, we'll leave this the slow place burner, which it is what it is. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it in my head, it just didn't add up. I guess they were like, oh, well, you'll have 80 to 90 days anyways, or whatever, to like do this grind, so it's not really a big deal. It should feel like a reward. And in fairness, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. It is what it is. But it just, on paper, it just seemed weird. So that's all I gotta say about that. Now, as far as like what I mentioned earlier, like in the pros, where I was talking about like low level characters, basically doing a hell of a ton of damage. But even some people can see this as a con, because lower level characters hitting harder in dungeons due to the scaling of how things work in Mob Remix, especially, with the tuning that's done to the cloak, you'll see them smack for such high numbers to the point where higher level characters feel unviable, which is weird. And like, it's just the way, the nature of the scaling and how it's done within these dungeons. So people are really, I wouldn't say abusing this, but they're really taking advantage of this, because they are power leveling their other ults extremely, extremely fast. There are videos out there on YouTube. I've even seen videos like from like Belior, who like talked about like characters leveling like so many levels within like minutes, and that happens with a lot of like, cases all over Mob Remix right now for a lot of low level alts, because of their main characters being so strong, and obviously the cloak, right, and how the scaling works. So for some people, they think this is like a negative. For me personally, I don't really think this is a big ordeal, but I could see why for some people this might be considered a con. I don't think this is something that Blizzard really needs to genuinely fix. At the end of the day, if people just want to play the game how they want to play it, let them play the game, let them have fun. This is nothing really overall too serious. And I think for people just wanting to get involved within your game, and especially in preparation for when the War Within comes out, let the boys and girls have fun. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Let them go crazy. This is not something where like, there's logs going on, we're chasing a world's first. This is just some, random have fun play pit version of WoW, and I don't really take this with a massive grain of salt, and like I'm like, oh, this is a big ordeal. Nah, it is what it is at this point, you know what I'm saying? So fuck it, have a good time, guys. That's what I'm getting at. Now here's the one thing I will genuinely be like, okay, I could see this being the main con, right? And they have addressed it with fixing the bronze ratio. Now, we in the beginning, like during like the first I guess week or two of Mob Remix, people have noticed that the bronze ratio was really, really bad. And the fact that when you're upgrading your gear, it costs so much to increase the stats. Even right now, after they added the greater bronze caches to like dungeon scenarios and LFR, Oh, excuse me. I'm about to throw up because that's how much I'm thinking about it. I had a hiccup right there. It was a Blizzard employee setting me up. Whoever's back there, they will get shot with a Barrett 50 cal. Keep them on high alert. I want a marksman hunter on them. In Minecraft, YouTube, settle down. But, yes, the amount of coins that it requires to upgrade your pieces, for example, if you're around like the 400 like item level to like a lot of your stats, or maybe even less before that, I forget. But it costs roughly around like 4,500 to 9,000 for certain pieces of your gear. And I think on the lower ends, like 35 to 32, depending on how high you are in item level. That's a lot of fucking bronze still. That is a lot of bronze. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're spamming and playing the game constantly, then I'm sure you can get your bronze up completely high, especially if you're just spamming dungeons over and over and over again, and maybe netting a certain amount. I've heard some people report that you get maybe about 3,000 to 4,000 bronze a dungeon. I'm not sure if that's entirely true. I have to look at further of the data myself to just see that, so I have to basically pay attention to the fucking game a little bit more. So Tello, lock it in. I understand you. Heard you loud and clear. But in general, though, it doesn't escape the fact that 4,500 and 9,000 bronze coins is a lot of fucking coins to level up your gear. I think that's a little too high, in my personal opinion, especially with something that's supposed to be very fast-paced, and people are trying to collect all these different, transmogs and mounts. I don't think that this is something that should be so super high. And especially, there's other things to get, like, companions as well, and other, like, vendors that sell different things. I don't think bronze should be something that we have to stress out about, and we should just basically enjoy the game, since the game is very fast-paced, from the design of it. So I think that's something, in my personal opinion, I think Blizzard should look at, and maybe, decrease the cost a little bit further, and go from there. So that's the only thing I will say as, like, the only major, like, con, in fairness. But besides that, in the future, right, how will they handle, like, the cloaks and items from, like, the War Within? Now, this is something that I want to, like, think about, because or even talk about with you guys, like, what do you think that they're gonna do? Because some of these items that we get from, like, MoP right now are completely busted. Like, these Tinker gems and a lot of these the designs of, like, behind a lot of these gems or how they're made, I don't know how they're gonna, like, convert a lot of these things into Dragonflight, or if they're just totally getting rid of them. What's, like, the grand scheme plan here? Like, what is exactly gonna happen in terms of, like, power level and scaling, especially the cloak? Are they going to get rid of it? Are they going to replace it? What's going to be given? Or is something going to match, like, Season 4 Dragonflight? Or is it going to match early starting stage War Within when it comes to these, super duper, Super Trooper tunes that we have right now of MoP Remix? Because these tunes are crazy. They're hitting for extremely high numbers. So I don't know exactly where they're going to go about in terms of how this is going to balance out from Remix to retail. Especially within the latest expansion. So I'm very curious about that, and I'm actually interested on your guys' thoughts on what you think is going to happen with a lot of these items, like, the Time Runner items, from, like, the rings to the cloak, etc., and especially, like, the gems and stuff like that. What do you think that they exactly going to, approach or do with that? Are they going to build it within, the character's, like, armor and pieces itself? Or do they get removed out? I'm very, clueless when it comes to that part. I'm sure there'll be some retail Andes in the chat giving me some updated information so I can understand from my knowledge base to see where they're going to go about it. Because, like I said, I never really was a retail type of guy. And this is, War Within, after MoP Remix, is technically going to be like a fresh start for your boy Tello when it comes to playing retail. And I have a feeling I'm going to really love War Within. And I hope it's good. That's another thing. If War Within is going to be good or not, I have no idea. This is going to be something completely new to me, out of my realm of things. That you guys know I'm a sod Andy. I do all Season of Discovery stuff. I love classic WoW. That's my realm of expertise that I've experienced for the past couple years, and I really enjoy, just in general, through classic era, etc., right? So, who knows, right? Who knows where this is going to take us, but that's basically it for the video today. I want to thank you guys, as always, for coming in the videos and supporting your boy and giving me a shout out. I know you guys are always coming to the Twitch and showing some love and support over there. And if you guys haven't came to the Twitch, link down below. The editor will put it down there for sure. Or he will get strapped up and get his ass beat for sure. In Minecraft. Don't worry, YouTube. Down below, twitch.tv, hello JTello. Follow over there. We're live Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the most part. When our internet's not getting shut off. I have no idea what happened the other night. Verizon set me up and they're pissing me off. So, almost had a type 2 attack right there. That was almost a death stroke, but settle down and lock it in. But much love to you guys. Thank you for coming to the video. And we'll go from there. That's about it. Keep on keeping on, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out. Did anybody see the new Godzilla movie? The Shin Godzilla shit? That's basically my ass after a night out of Taco Bell when I'm having like 20 packets of Diablo sauce when he does his beam straight out the bumhole. Like, ah!